back for day number 2. We are going to finish assignment number 1. So I see that some of you may have already finished it and already uploaded it. At the end, I'll show you how to upload it if you haven't, if you're brand new to ITU. But we were on number 9, and we were going to change a script, and the script we were going to change is the one called echo. So we created a script called echo.args, and to be or not to be. Make the script executable and try it out. What's this? Oh, put in to be or not to be, and it comes back and says echo to be or not to be. So you can put words or numbers. It just takes the arguments as you're typing it in. So we're going to change the script so it looks like this here. And I learned how to cut and paste. So I'm going to cut and paste it, actually. Copy and paste it. So I got to find where it is. I think I put it in bin. And inside of bin, hello, I have echoes.args. So I'm going to nano to echoes, echo.args. And in here, I'm just going to come up to the top here. Push on the top. And I'm going to paste. And it didn't work. It's not nice. Let's see. Copy. Maybe I'm not going to be able to paste. There we go. It does paste. And then I'm going to come down here and use my control K. I think it's K. Let me just make sure. Yep, to cut the text. So I'm going to go control K, 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 K. And then come all the way up to the top. Get rid of my extra lines. Which don't really matter, actually. And then talk about the script for a second. So we know that these are comments on the top, and that this script here is going to start out first by opening up a bash shell. Remember that from yesterday. So we're going to open up our own shell, and then we're going to illustrate the use of the positional parameters by user-defined variables. So we're going to read them in. So it's going to say, the script's going to start out and say, echo, what is your name? And then we have a new command here that is just being introduced called read. So read is going to take the input. It's like scanf, but it reads. So read, like echo, it's like basic rewriting to a shell script environment. So read name, and then echo, well, name, you typed blank number of arguments. And then we're going to put here on echo, we're going to put an asterisk argument. So we're going to see what happens with this. So let's save it. Control O, and then write the file out. 7 lines written out. And make sure I got the whole script in there. Save the file, exit, and try out the script, and put in the same thing as before. You can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you want. Let's see what happens here. So exit out, and then we are going to say /echo.args, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I run mine. It's going to say, what is your name? Barbara. It's going to say, well, Barbara, you typed in 6 arguments, and here are your 6 arguments. 1, 2, 3, oh, I misspelled 3 again. 4, 5, 6. So let's go back to the script for a second. Let me show you what this one does at the end. So this last one at the end echoes out all 6 arguments. So the asterisk is a wild card. So instead of saying 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you put the asterisk in there and give us everything. So it's kind of a, think of the asterisk, I talked about a little bit about it yesterday. Think of it more like the wild card for searching, but also for different applications like this, to put something to the screen. All right, so we saved the file, we exit out, we tried it out, we did that part, we're good. Now we're gonna use the set command. And we saw this yesterday actually, but we'll do it again. So here is the set command. It takes the output of a command and stores it in the positional parameters, the way that we're going to do it. So for number 11, we're going to try out the date command. So we're going to type in date and the number of the different places of the output, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's just take a look at date. So date. We got Sunday, January 19th. Oh, it's correct. Is today the 19th? Yesterday the date was wrong on my calendar. Actually, let's see. No, it's date. The date is correct today. The time is wrong? Yeah. It's probably in the morning, the 19th over there. Yeah, because yesterday it was the 19th already, so it's still the 19th so on the server. This is the server date, by the way. The calendar has us on the right date though, but yeah, you're right. The time is wrong. 17. It's like the nighttime. It's going to be the 20th soon. So we can say set the positional parameters to the output of date. So we can go set, and let's just, I'm going to copy and paste and put this in. You can type it. Set, and then I have this dollar sign here. We're going to make it date as our positional parameter. So in our command, we set the positional parameters to the output of date. And then now we're going to look at the value of the positional parameters by going echo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we see that we set the environment variable with the date as positional parameters, and now we just printed them out using echo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 through 6, actually.
Are you saying which environment variable we are setting?
We didn't set anything. We just set the positional parameters. We didn't give it a name. It doesn't. See, the variables, this is the interesting thing. If you're stuck with C, where you're looking at variables and everything has to have a bit, we don't have variables here. We don't have to have a variable. We could have environment variables if we wanted to. We can have real variables if we want to. Or we could just have positions of parameters that are storing in memory. So in our shell, this is valid in our shell. If I open up another shell window, as an example over here, and I go new window, and I log in, and log into the server over here, and I type the same thing. What was I typing in? Echo, or actually it's probably still in my memory here. Paste. It comes out empty. Uh-oh, it's empty because we didn't set it for anything. I didn't set any temporary memory to store those 6 items. So here, these are called positional parameters. They're by position. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you wanted to, you could actually go like here, like echo 6. And I say 2014. I don't have to use them all together. But we had 6 of them because we have separated by spaces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that were when we set it. So do we have time in here? We do. So I can go set time. Oh, syntax is going to be wrong. Line 14 error expected a token. Time. Subject line 14 time. I will just leave it alone. But in any case, what we're looking at is just setting it with the output of as the instructions are telling us, with the output of the running of the particular command. So we run the command and then we set it with the output of the command. So it's the output of date that we're setting the positional parameters with, and then we run the positional parameters and we get them. So it's nice in a temporary script. As soon as you run it again, you're going to remove those parameters and you're going to replace it with whatever it is you ran it with. So if I set it again to something else, then it will replace these and put new ones in there. So it's from the last time you ran it. So if you're going to put it in a script, you'll run it and then do something with it. Run it, do something with it. Run it, do something with it. Format. Number 14. Stop me if I'm going too fast. I'm going to try and speed things up a little bit today. Seeing how we've had some exposure yesterday. So we're moving a little through this. Number 14. I'm going to make a new script. The new script's going to be called setDate. And it's going to have the following stuff in here. We're going to use this command we just saw a few minutes ago. And then we're going to echo the time to equal 4 and 5, the day to equal 1, and then the date is going to be equal to 3, 2, and 6. So those are going to be the output from date. And then we're going to save the file, and then we're going to run the file. So now they're not going to tell us how to make it executable anymore. We have to remember how to do that. So let's do this. I'm going to copy this. You guys can type it if you want. So it's going to be called setDate. So if I'm inside of my bin directory still, it doesn't really matter where you put it. I'd put it inside the bin directory though. Nano setDate. Let's say setDate. Or is it capital or is it, let's see. It was called setDate. We'll just call it setDate. And in here, I've got my first line that's going to run the bash shell. I've got my next comment line that's going to describe what this thing does. I'm going to use this set command to get the date. And we have the parameters that we saw before, 1 through 6. So the time is 4 and 5, the day is 1, and the date is 3, 2, and 6. Parameters 3, 2, and 6. So if I save it, it doesn't really matter if there's extra lines. I always like remove the extra lines underneath. It doesn't really matter. Oops. Control O for output. Save this file name. When I save it, it actually... So when I'm writing the file, I have temporary memory. As it came up yesterday, if you exit out before you save it, it's gone. There's no auto save or anything. When I save it, it changes the colors on me because it actually makes the file. So now I'm actually bringing up a file that exists. Before, it's all vapor. Nothing gets saved. So it's oftentimes people will spend a lot of time in here. Then they'll exit out and they'll go, where'd it go? It's gone. Because you didn't save it. So you have to remember to save it, actually. So if I exit out, I do a list, I see set dates there. And I go, well, it's not green, so let's change it to green. We're going to use the change mod command. So change mod, CHMOD. And I'm going to change it for the user and for the group. And I'm going to add the W to it. And I'm going to put this on set date. So now if I run it, I see, oh, set date. Did I write it right?
You didn't execute.
I didn't execute. I put W. Okay, so I go, okay, so that's good. So then I come back here and I go, oh, what happened? You can write it. Why did I put right on there? What do I want to put X on here? Is the X next to the W? No, it's far away on the keyboard. But let's see. Then I run it again and I go, now it's green. Now we're good to go. That's why I like the bash shell because it color codes everything. So before I would have not known, hey, I put a W here. I actually did it by accident. You guys are good. You caught me. So, which is nice. But I check it. And if I didn't check it, I'd go, hey, what's wrong with it? And then I'd run it. It wouldn't work. So always double check. Because I had this actually yesterday with a couple of people that were running. I'm like, well, you didn't make it right. You didn't make it readable. If it can't read a file, you can't execute a file. So some of this stuff goes hand in hand. If I really want to check it, I can go ls-l and I can look at it and go, yes, this one has X's on it. We're good to go. So now if I run it, I get set date. Now I have time, this current time. Well, that's the wrong time. Day, Sunday. And the date, the 19th of January, 2014. Nice little script. Made our own. I thought the time does that. No, time doesn't that. It's real user and system. Time is not set on this system. Ah, that's what the problem is. I'm like, what's wrong with that time command? Alright, so let's go back to... I have too many screens open now. Here we go. It's in the back. Save the file, make it executable, run the file. So we're all up to date? We're all good?
Yeah.
Question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this positional parameters,
Yes?
you're differentiating with the space, right?
Yes.
So apart from that, could we, like separated by commas or?
No,
backslash?
it's space delimited.
Only space.
When you enter the... If you put a comment, actually check it out. We have one, don't we? We have, did we do a file? Echo. So if I run echo, did we change echo or is it still running? Hold on a second. I want to try something. Let's see what we have in here. No echo. Where did I put my echo?
It's on the bin.
Oh, it's in the bin directory. Oh, I wasn't in the bin directory. Okay. I had two screens, apparently. Command, is it? No?
Exactly. It should be in bin.
Well, I'm in bin. PWD. Root. Bin. Did I get rid of my echoes?
Unix house.
Echoes is over here. Commands and echoes. Maybe I'm logged in as... Oh, you know what? I'm on a different server over here. Let me get out of this one here. I don't want... I have two server accounts for two different sessions of this class, and then the other window comes with the second one. It's really confusing. So I'm on the right server now in the right class. So I'm going to type... Well, I probably put the file in the other one, the one we just ran. Or let's see. Let's cat out echo and see what echo looks like. Okay, so let me do this here, actually. Let's do this. I want to put echo back this one. So I want to show you what happens when you put commas in there. That's what I'm going to do.
Over here.
Oh.
In the other text.
Well, this one will take in the text, like if you.
Suppose in the date.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's like,
If you put like a comma here, or
no, in the text, whatever text it is.
yes, that you're typing in on the command line. If you put a comma in there, it shows up at the end character. It'll show up concatenated to the input. You'll see the commas.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to tell you. It's the space. You don't put the space in; they all come in as one parameter. It's space delimited. One space. You can put in 5 spaces. It counts as one space, just like HTML actually. One space in between or multiple spaces.
Until it encounters the space, it takes it as a first argument.
Excuse me?
Until it encounters the first space, it takes it as a first argument.
The first argument is actually the name of the file that you're running.
Oh yeah, I mean to say second argument.
The second argument is going to be the first thing that you typed in after the space.
Yeah.
So if you typed in echoes at ARG and you put a space in there, echoes ARG is the first argument. The second argument is whatever appears after that space. And then there's another space. Whatever appears after that space is the next one. So that's the way. And it's not comma. You can't put commas. If you put commas in there, you'll see them as the arguments. It takes the input in, which is what I was going to show you, but it doesn't really matter. I can just explain it. Instead, take the commas out. Use spaces, one or more spaces. And then it just looks for, it takes line by line, actually. So it'll look until the end of the line for as many arguments as you put in there. Your question?
Yeah, Professor, set date must be inside the bin, right? I mean,
Oh, for this assignment, you can put it anywhere you want. I don't really care. You can put it inside
I
a
can
bin.
see any command outside, so
Oh no, you can put it inside if you wanted to. Questions? We're good? Yes?
When you have the set date, can
Uh-huh.
you have any other variable in the string instead of the date?
Of course. This here, this is just the date we're getting.
Mhm.
Find out another command that you want to run, and then you can set the variable. You can set the environment variable to that. It's really just the parameters that are coming through the command line, and then you're just taking it and you're parsing it out with all of the different numbers for which one they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. I also was trying with time, and time wasn't working. I think it was probably the syntax. I probably had a capital T or something. I'm not quite sure what I was doing with that. So over here, we are we are in the right directory. I didn't put my arguments over here, but I don't think I need them actually, and I don't. So that's on my other server, so we'll just leave that alone. Hopefully you guys have it all on the same server. You can put it in the bin directory, or you can put it anywhere you want. It's just going to be in your account. So we save the file, we run it. Now let's write an application. The application we're going to write is called WC. So, well, we're going to use WC. It's called word count. We're going to filter the count of the words, the lines, the characters in a file. So, for example, for running WC on set date file, did I write a set date? Oh, here, let me write this one real quick so I have this file to run the example with. It just takes 2 seconds. And I know set date. I'm putting it on the right server. Now I have my set date. So, and let me just change the mod real quick here. X. I know I did the same thing over again. I want to go W. Okay, there we go. We have set date now. So now if I go WC set date, I see I have 7/23/131 in set date. And I go, oh, what is that? Let's take a look here. I get 1, 2, 3, 4. So how did I get 7 in that? This is only has 6. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let's just take a look here. I'm gonna get rid of all this extra stuff in here. I got a lot of spaces, and I got another line at the bottom. So let me get rid of the extra line. There we go. Let's see what it comes out with now. (7/23) 126. Well, 126. Let's see. I think that matches. No, 124. Here we go. It's not going to be perfect. All right, what am I doing? I'm doing a word count. So the word count filters and counts the words and the lines and the characters. So if you run WC on set date file, you just did Now, I got little slightly different results. Question, what positional parameter is the file name in the output? What positional parameter is that? That's a good question. Let's test your knowledge of those positional parameters so far. What positional parameter is that? What number is it?
0. 4.
You typed it in here, so
Oh,
it's actually the 1. Yeah, this is 0. This is 1. Yeah. Okay. We'll test. You just walked in and you answered the question correctly. Yeah, there we go. So the output tells us we have 6 lines. I have 7 lines in my file. And we have 23 words. I have 23 words in my file. That's good. I have the right words. Well, I cut and pasted from this assignment. I hope I have the right words. And then I have 124 characters. Well, I got 126 characters somehow. Probably had extra spaces. Spaces count as characters. So you probably have some extra spaces. Don't worry if your count doesn't match. This count doesn't really matter. So let's see. To improve the WC, we're going to make the new script called mywc. So we're going to make a new script now that runs a command WC. And we're going to modify the output, labeling each one of the positions so it's more readable. Because we don't know what the 7 and the 23 and the 124 and the set date looks like. So the output of the script is used by the following command. We're going to use it this way. So it's going to say mywc space set date, because we're going to run it on the file set date. And it should read set date count, lines 6, words 23, characters 124. So to do this, we're going to create the script mywc, and we're going to add the following to it. We're going to select, you're going to, oh no, what happened here? Now we don't get instructions. So you guys are going to write it for me, because you're so good at this. And I'm going to type what it is you're going to write. So we have fewer instructions here, but we just did it a few minutes ago, so it's not too bad. So we can probably figure out how to select the bash shell, right? It's this line up here, and we can use what we have here, actually. That's this line here. So I'm going to go ahead and start us out, get us on the right foot at least. The file is going to be called mywc. So I'm going to go nano mywc. And our first line, we're going to start the bash shell. So over here it says select the bash shell. Next line, run WC on the number 1 positional parameter and capture the output using set. Where did we use that before? Does that look good to everybody? And we go, well, you know, I don't know if that's right or not. What we can do is this. We can go over here, we can go output, save it, right? And go, well, let's see, what is this command we want to run? We want to run this one here, but we want to do it on WC. So let's see for a second here. What if we type in, oops, I copied it. Let's paste it in here. Oops. WC, what is that going to produce? Oh, it's looking for a file, isn't it? So, what do you guys think? Or should I let you do this one on your own for the homework assignment? Or we could do it now. And you guys have any brilliant ideas about what the second one is supposed to be? We need to run WC on the positional dollar on the number 1 positional parameter and capture the output using set. We're going to do set. So the syntax is going to look kind of like set. Huh?
WC is a command, right?
Set, yeah. Set is a command that's going to set the positional parameter number 1 for us. So WC, oh, hold on, let me bring my file back up. Nano, what's this thing called again? It's called mywc. Nano mywc. All right, what would I type in here?
Set date. WC set date.
Set dollar
WC. Oh no.
set
Set.
dollar euro brackets WC set date.
Okay.
So we'll catch that argument. So we
Alright. Set date. Date. Set out data. Set date. Look good, everybody?
Yeah, and dollar floor will be the file name. We will just echo the arguments.
Do we want to print it to the screen?
Yeah,
Echo.
yeah, echo.
And what do we want to do? Dollar
Dollar floor,
4?
floor with the file name. Counts,
What, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
space.
Yeah.
Counts.
Oh, we're gonna go down here. Okay, I see what we're doing. you're giving all it, but I mean, like, I thought you were just doing one. Print the file name so that we got 4, echo 4. Print the number of lines. So we want it all to show up on one line like this. Is that good? Do we want to do that? Okay, so he's already gone to number 3. So I thought I'd come back here and show you. So print the file name. Well, we know how to do that. Echo number 4. It's giving it to us. So then print the number of lines, which is number 1. So if we do this, it'll say set date. Do we want to put numbers? Do we want to put something in here? Or we're just going to lines, colon. Print the number of lines, number of words, and the number of characters using personal labels. So do we wanted to do, where's my output? Here it is. Count, dot, dot, dot. And then, which is lines, colon, and then we have $1. And then we have words, colon, and then we have $. Oh, what are we looking at? Words. Words. 2. And then we have characters. So you can actually put text on here, by the way. That's what we're doing here. You can put text on here. And it'll echo as well. So 124. That's number 3. You see we have color coding going on here. Kind of helps us a little bit. Because we have the maroon. It's picking it up. This is a keyword echo, keyword set. We have the maroon stuff going on here to tell us that it's a positional parameter. What else? Use the script set date as a model for this problem. Well, I already have set date. Do we have set date up here already? Set date, here it is here. Well, it looks pretty familiar, so let's check it. We're going to use this as a model, so let's see. So I can see both of them together. Did we miss anything? Maybe some comments up here. We could do this if we wanted to. What does this thing do? Prints out better output for WC command. You know why this is actually kind of important? Because later on you'll look at the script and go, what does this thing do? It backs up all my home directories and sticks it over in this other file, and then it FTPs it over there. Then you got to look at the code. You got to go, what does this thing do? So it's easier to put kind of a little thing up there to kind of tell you. Everyone like it? Everyone think that's good? Any complaints?
You summary it by
Double quotes.
Double quotes?
I mean the echoes.
Echo.
I mean it doesn't matter.
Oops. Hey. Hold on a second. Let me just do it this way. Yeah, because I'm looking here going echo time. It actually, some systems it does matter. So we could go echo count.
So you can put it.
Actually, let's do one thing first. So this is this is my approach. I look at this and go, I think it's okay. There's, and I go, oh, let's just try it. What's the harm in trying it? So it might actually work. So we go echo, Control O, save it. X, change the mod. So let's see, I got here my and WC. So change mod. So you're gonna be familiar with user and group plus X on my WC. There we go. Now I'm gonna run it. go mywc. What are we supposed to run it on? Set date. Set date. Something. I can go. Whoa! Look at that. Set date. Count. Line 7. 23 characters. 126. It actually works, by the way. That's why I kind of wanted to show you. And you go, oh, it works. But maybe it's not really perfect. Because we didn't put the quotes in there. I'm sorry?
We need not pass the set date as an argument.
And this
I can just
is
Yeah, we can just
the
execute.
mywc.
Oh, yes, of course, because we did that. You're right. You're right. You're right. We don't have to pass that as an argument. If I actually looked at the script. Because we're running WC on set date inside of it. So what did it do to that argument? It actually just threw it away. Didn't use it. It discarded. Well, did it really discard it?
It's giving the same output.
It's still in the memory. It's still there. We could actually pick it up. If we wanted to, we could run it with that argument, even though we're not using it inside of the script, and then take and use the argument. We still have the argument. It's still in the memory. So it's an interesting kind of way of looking at it. Didn't need it. So there's a lot of users that actually type in a lot of commands with a lot of arguments, and the arguments aren't even used. So we're going to use extra arguments. They're just thrown away, or they're there. They can be used. They're just not needed. So going back to the script, we could clean it up a little bit if we wanted to. If we cleaned it up a little bit, we'd put those quotation marks in there. Because if you look at this script up here, if you compare the two of them, this one's got echo, and then it's got quotation marks around it. This doesn't have any quotation marks around it. If we wanted to put the quotation marks around it, we'd go here, and we go like that. And if we wanted to, we could put it on different lines if we wanted to. If we put it on different lines, it's going to echo on different lines. So here we could put it like around the whole thing, perhaps, if we wanted to, like that. And that would echo out the whole thing. But we're being sloppy. So, well, we don't have to be sloppy. But it worked anyway. So now I can exit out, run the whole thing again. And I see I get the same results with or without the quotation marks. Probably not a bad idea to put the quotation marks up there, because when you put the quotation marks in there, you get this out in a kind of a gold color, so you know it's a line of it's a line that's going to be printed. And so now you see the positional arguments get printed out. Anything with a $sign, it's run the value of it. So it doesn't matter if it's inside of quotes, outside of quotes, because that's the other thing. If I had sat here a little bit longer with this, some students would go, no, don't put the quote around the argument, put it around the text. Because some people in programming languages, unless you're familiar with like printf, where you put the $sign, or is it %sign? And then an I or a D or an F, depending upon what the variable is. You can insert it in. Are we good with this script? Yeah? Okay, good. I think we finished the assignment. I think we are done with this assignment. We are. So paste the finished script below. So give me your script. Well, you don't really have to. When you turn this thing in, just give me the answer to number 1, which is your comparison. And what are you going to do with this thing? You're going to go to the EMS. I'll show you the EMS actually. And you're going to do this before. Actually, I do it today. Or whenever you get the answer to number 1 done, I do this. Now I'm not gonna. You're supposed to paste the script down below here. You could just put number 1, answer number 1, and then number 15. Here's my script, and put the script in there. Otherwise, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna see it out here because you have a mywc script out here. So you put it in the Word file, and then you go to the EMS. This is for brand new people, by the way. You go to the EMS. You go into the class. Let me see if I can find the class. Here it is here. You're going to have a different look than I am. And then you're going to have, I believe somewhere over here, you're going to have something about assignments.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to click on the assignments link. Actually, I have one here, but mine looks different than yours probably. And then there'll be something over here that says submit. Mine says delete and edit, but you're going to have a submit over here. Yeah. So you'll have something over here to submit. And then you'll submit it in, and hopefully you'll do it before 2/18. Hopefully you'll do it today. So, All right. I'm gonna stop this video because we're in between concepts. I'm gonna start a new one in the next video. So let's just stop.